afternoon. This is Tim with Welborn Homestead. Um, Today is Monday, January the 7th, 2019. It's about 65 degrees outside. I started this channel. I wanted to leave something behind. And I don't know exactly how I got started in this, but about a year ago, I started watching some of these YouTube videos, and I instantly found uh, Danny and Wanda on Deep South Homestead, and uh, Luke and my gardener, and the old Alabama farmer, Callie Kim, just to name a few. But I started doing this, watching these videos, and I really got interested in doing a video myself. I seen a lot of the live ones and wanted to see if I could take a shot at it. I don't have all the fancy equipment, or probably nowhere near the knowledge they have. I'm just to tell a little bit about me, my story. I call it Welborn Homestead because my mother's father's father owned this land, um, and it got passed down 4 generations now with me. I never wanted to be really a part of this place. It started out at about 100 acres of land, and my grandfather, which is Oscar Welborn, him and his brother Buck Welborn, had a lot of quarrels and a lot of problems when it come to land, and the land was divided, and my grandfather got about 12, I think it's 12 or 18 acres. Um, a lot of these stories, I don't really know all the details. I know bits and pieces, but hopefully I can tell a little bit as we go this journey. But I rambled around a lot. I saw a lot of the country. I never left the states, but I've been pretty much California to Kittery, Maine, and down to Key West and Mesa, Arkansas, Arizona. I've traveled around a lot, and I ended up disappearing for about 5 years and lived on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Um, this land, this place that's always been home to me is in Jasper County, Mississippi. It's about central, not quite central Mississippi, but close to it. And it's just like a whole nother world here compared to all the places I've been and seen. Uh, I stayed there about 5 years, and the day before my birthday, I was born February 29th. My grandfather passed away February 28th, 2014. And I never got to tell him goodbye. I never got to say goodbye. My grandfather, I guess I inherited a lot of his traits. I've always been able to fix just about anything. I spent years working on air conditioning systems, sheet metal work, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, machines, motors, just about anything I put my hands on, I can pretty well fix or figure out how to fix. He was a lot like that. His number one passion was gardening and spending time with his family. I have a lot of fond memories of 4th of July was always a big deal. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. Those were days that we would go down to his place and we would all gather around, and there was always plenty of food. And I guess you could say, being raised in the 80s and 90s, we were poor, but we wasn't poor. We didn't do without. We didn't have the best of everything, but my mother raised, I have an older brother that's 5 years older than me, and a younger brother that's 5 years younger than me, 5 or 6 years. And my mother pretty much raised us on her own. And one of the biggest things is keeping us fed. She worked sometimes 3 jobs, I remember. It was a really tough time. But we never felt like we did without. I never did. I have a lot of memories of my grandfather being in that garden and working, and he never stopped. I remember we all lived right here close together on this 12 or so acres, and I remember seeing him out in the garden. The whole fields were garden, and I'll show you all that later, different places. But we grew corn, and we all got together and shucked corn and blanched it and cut it and bagged it and split it amongst the families. My mother had a sister, and she had 2 boys, and we all did our part. It was just what the family did. We picked peas. I picked so many Purple Hull peas. I can't even tell you how many bushels and bushels and bushels of peas. And I remember a lot of what he taught me, but a lot of it just kind of went to the back of my mind. It's kind of like wanting to get away from here. For years, I wanted to get away from here. And when he died, something hit me, and it just made me want to come home. I had been gone for too long, and my health wasn't the greatest. I've got several health problems. One of the things that got me really interested in watching Mr. Danny's videos from Deep South Homestead was the fact that a lot of his ailments I have too. So I decided I had a camper, I had a truck. I loaded it up and I came home. I came home to be where I was supposed to be. And I went out into his old shop when I got home, and I found a little bag that had O.W.O. O.W. And that's how he used to initial his stuff. And I opened it up, and it was a little brown bag with some seed in it. And it was my grandfather's okra that we grew. And we'd eat okra all our lives. Fried okra, boiled okra, every kind of okra you can eat. But it was his type of okra. And I found a little spot. I have about 2 acres of that land. And I found a little spot, and I planted some that year, along with a couple tomato plants, a few things. It did really good. I was shocked. I started remembering what he did. The next year, I really started planting. And I took spots that were like 100 by 50 foot, 100 foot by 50 foot, and made rows. And what I couldn't remember all about his teachings, I found people that would show me YouTube videos. I mean, I learned it. I had a great garden that year. And this is going on my 3rd or 4th year now, 4th year here. And like I said, it's January. It's time to get my potatoes ready to go in the ground. And I never had a real great success in growing corn. I tried that one of those years and didn't do really good. This year I'm going to do a little better. But he knew this place. He knew this land. He knew what it would grow. Something about this place that just does really good. It's I guess they call it a sandy loam soil, but it does really good. But I want to take you through this journey, and people maybe can give me some advice and show me some things, and I'll show you what I know. And it maybe won't all be about gardening. Maybe it'll be different things that go on around here, but it's a great place. It's, all my children are grown. I have 4 children, and they're grown. I have grandkids now, but everybody lives away. And it still feels like home here. I wake up every morning and look around, and there's just so many memories here of things that we enjoyed, that we shared and did. And the holidays aren't the same. My mother, she's still alive, and we try to get together, but it's nothing like when my grandfather was here. They say the elders held the roots of the family together, held the family together. That's true. Because everybody goes in different directions now, so it's not really like we have great holidays anymore. Everybody's so busy doing something else. So for me, I want to slow things down.